Hi there, thanks for joining me again. I thought in today's video I would simply show you this book and read the first chapter. It's got a nice glossy cover, and if you follow any of my videos you know that I myself love the sound of paper or pages turning. This book is, I think, what you would class as a chick lit, for those that enjoy a good book to read on the beach. It's romance, quite contemporary, about a woman called Bernie Taylor, a pretty self-confident, sexy woman who knows what she wants or how to get it. The book does contain some sexual scenes, but also contains some nice friendships and storylines, a nice balance of humour as well. And I must admit, there's a bit of sadness in there as well, which balances things up nicely. Thought I'd just, as I say, read for you the first chapter. It'll only take a couple of minutes. All the chapters in this book are reasonably short, so it's handy to pick up and put down when you need to in a busy day. And just to warn you, in the first chapter there is some swearing and there is some sexual connotations too. So make yourself comfortable. And I'll begin. Goodbyes and good mornings. Jesus, what fucking awful shoes, she muttered under her breath as they walked towards her front door. It's funny that after a few bottles of Pinot and a handful of shots, the eyes take on a different agenda. Normally her friend Paula would notice these things. As she opened the door, he leant in. We should do that again, and soon. She pressed in tightly and kissed him. She felt words weren't needed, especially as she was thinking the opposite. She closed the door behind her, along with the vague memories of the night before. From what she could muster up in her mind, it had been a bloody good night, followed by a bloody good night of sex, but probably didn't require a repeat performance. That is, unless she happened to bump into him again and she let the Pinot do the talking. As she walked back through her flat, she tucked her loose hair behind her ears and glanced down at herself. Shit, she felt a mess. Being wild in bed is one thing, but the look the next day is something else. For a moment she stopped to work out what day she was on and glanced at a nearby calendar that her sister had made for her family. Hell, it was only Wednesday. Her head felt like a Saturday morning, or was it Sunday mornings? She would have to pull something out of the bag, as she had an important presentation to pull off later. And if there was one thing that she was good at, that was closing the deals. And today would not be different. She walked into her bathroom, ready for the morning overhaul. She sat herself down on the wooden washing basket and leant back. She felt tired. She had been working hard recently and probably playing a bit too hard, and her face felt a bit tight, if not a little old. She pushed that thought to the back of her mind and then hoped that she could lay her hands on one of her recent purchases or one of her panic buys from QVC in her drawers, one that would replace 8 hours sleep and nearly 40 years of shit. Well, not all shit. She got up and closed the bathroom door and switched on the shower. First thing on her agenda was to brush her teeth to get rid of this post-party feeling in her mouth and whatever else was overstaying its welcome. Steam filled the room. She undid her shirt that she had thrown on and dropped it to the floor. She had a great body for her age, but events in the past years had changed her or worn her down a bit. She used to look at herself and see excitement and youth, dreams and plans flashing in front of her. In her 20s, she had plans or hopes to be a model, an actress, or simply just bloody successful. She had got a great job now in a design company that she loved and a wardrobe to match, but something she thought was missing. She was doing okay, but just felt and looked to herself weathered. If she'd been a dog and was found, the card in the newsagent window would read, "Lost dog, found on the street, definitely a pedigree, but can't tell as a little frazzled. Seems friendly and probably just needs some loving and a tidy up." With the steam still filling the room, she sat back, down, quiet and alone, and sat and gazed, just her and her thoughts and let the steam wrap itself around her. She dropped her hair down and it fell loosely on her shoulders and back. The steam formed perspiration that dripped down her arms and her décolletage. Although she had been with a man the night before, this time it felt like just empty sex, just him and his bodily motions, following his own sat-nav to destination glory. For her, more like a woman at a bus stop and waiting for the bus to come, only to arrive and pass her by. Although he did get there in the end, and the climax was worth the wait. She wiped the perspiration down over her body and over her breasts and took a deep breath. The water continued to trickle down her front to her stomach and down her legs. As she wiped the water off her body, she enjoyed the feeling of her own hand over her breasts. Her breasts were large and firm and rounded nicely at the sides, and something that time had not taken away from her. She continued to glide her hand over her body, appreciating what she did have. Her stomach was okay, not her best asset. The drinks never helped that area, but as she stretched out her legs, she smirked, as she knew she always got compliments about her long legs. As she brushed the water from her thighs, she slid her hand up and tilted back her head. Alone, she sat there, just her and her thoughts. She had been single for a while now and missed the intimacy of a man. It wasn't really even that. It was someone touching her and knowing her. With one hand she caressed her breasts and the other hand found some guilty pleasure. She pleasured with a few small rotating motions with increased pressure every so often, squeezing her damp breasts and allowing her mind to drift. The pleasure went through her body and she arched her back. Her breath deepened as she rode every moment. Passion blazed through her mind. Thoughts, memories, and desires engulfed her body. Her breasts protruded, her nipples pert, and aching to be licked, wanting more and more and more. The voices and passion in her mind urging her to orgasm. She tried to fight it, to savour the moment, to hang on to the feeling of being on the edge. In her mind, he was touching her, forcing her closer to the edge. She imagined his breath close to her neck. She gathered her breasts together as if offering them, and spread her legs a little, and before she can do much more, she soared over the ridge and rode the wave of pleasure. She stopped, satisfied. Now she was ready to face her day. On the back it reads, Bernie Taylor, The London Days and Nights, is a masterful contemporary woman's blockbuster that unfolds a bold, impressive and sexy character of Bernie Taylor, a woman with strong head and high ambitions and clear vision of needs and how to achieve them. Success at work and men come easy for Bernie, but something alluring and different about Simon Stedler at CK Fashion London is bound to change her life. With events taking her in a different direction, she later joins Elliott Design, along the way finding success and love, lust and betrayal. With good friends to turn to, she is not alone. That is until life changes in another direction again, and the trust is gone. But Bernie Taylor knows what she needs to do and won't stop until she gets what and who she wants. Tender, touching, and yet resonant. Bernie Taylor. The London Days and Nights. Thank you for joining me. If you liked this video, please do like it below or subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. You take care, and I'll see you soon.